It's common practice these days, apparently. Everybody wants to call it situationship and shit, and ghost you and using you for your emotions, for your naivety, for your innocence, for your love, for your light. I'm talking to not players, not playettes. I'm talking to good spirited people who are givers, who love and still get ghosted by these alpha male, these alpha female fakes who ghost you just because they never got into it with an intention of taking it long term with you. But they will use you, they'll use every resource from you. And if you're in a place where you're waiting to hear back from somebody who's ghosted you, firstly, it's very normal for you to feel that way. And I'm talking about people who have been in intimate relationships where you thought that this man, this woman is promising the world to you. You've already told to this person that I'm looking for commitment, I'm a one-man woman, I'm a one-woman man. And this man and this woman comes off as a husband and a wifey, and nobody knows what your past traumas are. And I believe people who ghost have major traumas attached to them that bleeds onto you. And soon enough, you then get jaded before you get into any other relationship, because you're not afraid to get into a new relationship, but because you love fully from your heart, you take time to get into a new relationship because you're still afraid of the past hurt. And many a times you can't get into any new relationship because when you give in every relationship, you give wholeheartedly. And once upon a time, of all the relationships you've had, there'll be one man or one woman who will change your life for the worst. And that trauma will stay with you for the rest of your life. And you never know how much ever you heal, will you ever get over it. All the physical abuse that happened, all the mental abuse that happened, all the spiritual abuse that happened, all the emotional abuse that happened. But you still walk with your head high. Why? Because this person has ghosted you and left, and there's probably another chick on his D, on her P, while you're healing, while you're trying to get over the fact that you just got ghosted by somebody who you used to call day in, day out, whose name was in your mouth day in, day out, whose house you were in. You had a life plan with this man. You had a life plan with this woman. One thing I can tell you, if a man, a woman brings out a maternal, a paternal instinct in you and still has the audacity to just go ghost overnight, must tell you what a low-grade character this man, this woman is, and how broken they are. And you dodged a bullet, and God help you dodge a bullet, because what if you was married to this man, to this woman, and what if that ghosted you and just divorced you overnight or just separated? It would have been worse. And sometimes it gets really hard to wrap our head around it, because not everything is about being married and committed, because hey, people don't value commitment. Everybody wants to act holier than thou. But ghosting is so disrespectful to a point where you can't look at yourself in the mirror thinking, am I that loose? The ghoster will always make you feel like you are less than. We'll start off great, yeah, but notice how they move once you guys get comfortable. Notice how they handle you when they've backed you, and notice when the interest level goes away and fades away. This has nothing to do with people with commitment issues, but these are people who already know that they never want to commit, even if they do not have any commitment issues. So you gotta understand who you're dealing with. And these ghosters will make sure that you feel that you have achieved something big in life by being with them, and they doing you a favor by staying with you. So what you do as a good girlfriend, as a good boyfriend, man, woman, whatever, you try to bring the spark back. You try to bring out the relationship that once started at such a high. And however long you guys have been, I'm talking about relationships where you both know that you both are exclusive, at least that has been said. But this calculative man, this evil woman always knew and were planning ways on how to escape and what's the best time to ghost you. And they ghost you without any regards to your mind, to your heart. They only want to see you waiting for them and drooling for them. So basically, they'll actually leave you when you least expect it and when you need them the most, because that is some sadistic pleasure that they get. Because probably as a man, they hate women. Probably they have mommy daddy issues. As a woman, they hate men. Probably they have mommy daddy issues. And when you come with your whole divinity as a man or woman, that triggers them. And what triggers them is firstly their fear of losing you, because they are putting up an act of a divine masculine, of a divine feminine. which is why you as a one-man woman, a one-woman man gives your all. Because people like you don't get vulnerable so easily. People like you don't trust everybody easily. But these people don't know that. They think that you are this person with anybody and everybody because they do not have the intellect to even understand how to build human relationships. These people can't build relationships. These people don't understand emotions. They don't have any intelligence when it comes to heart. They only are smart in their heads because they play so many games. They gaslight, they're narcissists, and they already know that. And they deal with women who are on the same vibe but who act like bad bees. They deal with men who act like the best dudes in the planet. But if you read in between the lines, you are the trigger because of your purity. And instead of appreciating that innocence, that purity, which once they pretended to enjoy, they liked your innocence, they're now embarrassed of it. They now think that it is an act. They now get annoyed with everything that you're doing around them. If a man, if a woman gets upset with everything that you say suddenly in a relationship, best believe he and she is already getting serviced by multiple other men and women who are on their D and their P and their champagne cheersing while you're crying. And they expect you to show up for them in the middle of the night. If they call you, you're supposed to be there because you're here and they're here. And that's what they've told you, or if they've not told you blatantly, they've made you feel that way. And ghosters will normally involve everybody in the relationship. And because they think that you are not all this and you're just a fake, because they start projecting the insecurities on you. When they start projecting the insecurities on you, they'll start calling you dirty, low-level names with the same women who they hang with the same type of men they hang with. They project them onto you because their standard is so low, but they want to act like alpha males and alpha females who've got shit tons of money, education, whatever. May just be fake. They may be catfishing, who knows at this point. However, they will still make you look like the catfish. And any words that they can use to break your masculinity, to break your femininity, and that breaks you because this is a man you are in love with and truly in love with. This woman you're genuinely in love with because you're not putting up an act. So imagine hearing those words, which is like taking bullets directly onto your head when they speak that way. And by this time, this ghoster already knows that they have you wrapped around their finger. You will do anything at the drop of a hat. And to a point, we've all been there. This man, this woman is fully moving shady, but we still continue to stay. That's because when it comes to ghosters, they're really smart in making us feel that we are almost going to lose them. If we are not in our P's and Q's, they will leave us. If we are not on our P's and Q's, these guys are hot commodities, and they make it seem like they have so many people checking for them that they completely disregard who's actually checking for you, who you have blocked. But these people do not have that loyalty, that integrity, but they just want to come off as a loyal, integral person. So these people make sure that your image is completely and tainted to protect their fraudulent public image after you're done. So while you are healing and you're going through a heartbreak for months, for years of coming out of this toxic relationship to finally realize, oh my God, I was actually in a very toxic relationship, and every laugh, every joke, every truth, every tear you cried was received in a very platonic way on the other side, and they were always fake. And you, on the other hand, keep going forward and take every day as it comes because you're just trying to keep afloat. And while you're trying to keep afloat, this man, this woman starts spreading narratives as to, oh my God, this woman was so difficult to be with. Oh my God, she was so clingy. Oh my God, she was so whatever. Same way, this man was so clingy. He was so broke and they are chasing after me. We have to ghost them. When in reality, they never respected you and you treated them like the king and the queen when they didn't deserve a peasant's treatment. So soon enough, the ghoster plays the victim. The ghoster starts to gather flying monkeys around him, around her. The ghoster starts to listen and enjoy the gossips about you from the family, from the friends, and everything that they say about you. And he said, she said, they will eat it up, man. They'll eat it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in excess too. But they'll never believe one word that came out of your mouth while you were sucking their D in your pee, were they? No. But at the end of the day, they'll always believe people who have evil intent, because people with a similar vibe will always connect with one another. So how much of an act that they put up in front of you, that they are the divine masculine, the divine feminine, they will actually enjoy their conversations with these type of people. And once you're gone, you see the real colors. And the worst is when the ghoster does not ghost you yet, they will suck the last of your life from you until the time they make you feel like you are nothing. You feel like you are so undateable, you are so ugly inside and out. Till the time they don't break you to the T, they will not ghost you. And then boom, they ghost you. They leave you with traumas that you have to battle for however long it may be. Your family relationships may be ruined by this man because of this woman. Your friends' relationships may be ruined because of this man, because of this woman. And you go on with life with all the mistakes that you've done. And then when sense comes to your head, however long it takes for you to heal, you start to get angry, and now you are left with broken relationships, a broken self, and you have to start on your healing journey. And while you are healing, genuinely trying to move on, they will make sure that they come back in and out of your life. First of all, they only come in not to check up on you, but to make sure to see, do I still have control on her? Can I still control him? And sometimes you give in. Most times you'll give in. Why? Because you feel like, oh, this person's back, and you go back downward again. So you have to restart again because you give in yourself. And they keep coming back and forth till you allow it. And once you put your boundaries up, they can't come in. And when they can't come in, they start bad-mouthing you, and they continue the narratives. Flying monkeys, stalking you, hurting you, bad-mouthing you. And their families and their friends will make sure they badmouth you. Because trust and believe, it's their toxic, karmic family and friends who enable them, who've enabled this behavior, who've made sure that they're okay when people ghost other men, when these people ghost other women. They actually uphold them. They actually tell them, oh wow, look at that girl, look at that guy, still fiending for you. These people don't understand how people can break within when they truly give their heart to somebody else. Because most of the time, ghosters attract ghosters. So these people play in the same playground, and they have loose ends. So all these people with loose ends with each other keep coming back to each other. So that's why ghosters once in a while finds a good man, a good woman, and instead of upholding you, instead of nourishing you and the relationship and changing their own ways, they want to break you because they think who the think you are. And therefore, you are not their lover. You are a lover who they are jealous of. You are a lover who they low-key hate. And you, on the other hand, will kill for this person even. So just understand the disconnect and just have some grace for yourself when a ghoster especially leaves you, and especially a ghoster who's been with you for a period of time where you both have been vulnerable, and he has to, she has to, you know that. And you've shared some deep, dark secrets which probably you will take to your grave. Why? Because you thought this was the end of all relationships, and this is going to be your husband, your wife, your man, your woman, married or not. On the other hand, they are counting days on when and who they can hit up in a month, in a year. And therefore, just understand, ghosting is a very slow, long game if played well. They use people for emotions. They use people for their loyalty. They use people for what is innate, what makes you you, and they break you for that. And therefore, you end up sitting here thinking, why was I ghosted? What did I do to this human being who I thought was my woman, was my man, was my friend, was my relative even, was my favorite person? Why did I get ghosted? When there's a whole story happening behind your back, with their families, with their friends, with their... And then you become the problem, and everyone wants to attack you because you finally grew some balls to move on. In my opinion, one of the most cowardice and low-grade thing a man or woman can do is ghosting. Unfortunately, we live in a day and age where people now get into any new or dating relationships, situationships, which is commonly called now, with an expectation of getting ghosted. So it looks like everybody's standard is super low because either they're getting with an intention of ghosting this human being after they sleep with them or whatever they need is met. And on the receiving end, a person is getting into a relationship with an expectation of probably getting ghosted by this person for their exes or newbies, whatever. And when you finally grow some balls to finally move on and actually see the clown for who they are and not as an alpha, they can't stand that. And when they can't stand that, they'll come back to see if they have you still. Not because they love you, because of pride, ego, and sometimes their exes or their family members, their wise counsel must be pimping them out back to you, in my opinion at least, to see how they can use you again, how they can use your resources again, how they can play with your emotions again. Why? Because people get bored. People like this, when they don't get the same gratification once they've been with a good man, a good woman, they'll try to replace you among WHORES, which they're used to, because they go back to their old life, right? They can't always play the husband and the wife for too long. They have to go back to their type and then find another good man, a good woman, so they hope. But when they can't find that, they will come back to play their game again. And this time they'll come off as a good man, a good woman who's awakened. And they expect you to be like, oh my God, he's back. Oh my God, she's back. Come on, let's get back together. At that time, you must sit with yourself. This time, before you accept them with open arms, even if you want to with all your body, mind, and soul, remember what they did to you. Remember all the time they cheated on you. Remember all the time they laughed at your tears in silence. Remember all the time they double-crossed you. Remember all the time you cried while they were balls deep in somebody else, or somebody was balls deep in them. So remember those times. Remember the disrespect. Remember the words. Many a times we have to make ourselves understand that just because people come back, they do not come back because they want to get back to us, because they miss us, but only because they want to see if they can have that ego boost, that sadistic self, to see if I have control. These are control freaks who are narcissists, and therefore they go ghost when they can't bag you. But not to say that people don't change. You can give chances, and it all will depend on how this person speaks with you and where you are emotionally, mentally, and spiritually in your traumatic healing journey that you've healed from, or you're still healing, because in life we are always healing with something or the other. So you can't ask your friend, your family member, oh, should I accept him back? Should I get her back? If you want the man back, if you want the woman back, sit down and have a conversation. Make that decision for yourself. And what is coming out of this person's mouth? Are they accepting what they've done? Are they taking ownership of what they've done? Is there any integrity, loyalty for the fact that they say we've awakened now? Because the fact that a man or woman can sit on the truth for so long and never come and confess, and only is coming and confessing when something went wrong, is a red flag. What type of man, woman is this? And ask yourself, would this man, would this woman return to you had they not gotten with a WHORE? Had they not met with a loss? What would have happened if the person that they went toward, if they successfully found a replacement, who was probably fake, was never outed? Would they ever return? Did they have any integrity when they left? How did they leave you? How was the last part of the relationship? Bear in mind, many a times people just come around again for that emotional support that was lacking. These people who are pure, who love unconditionally, are 10%. 90% of the world is the devil's playground, like I said. Actions speak louder than words. Time says a lot. Let time pass. Let people leave your life, and you will know exactly who was real, who was true. It is what they do after, and it is what they do the period when you were separated. Anyone can come back and say, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Please accept me back. But this time, please put yourself first. Remember all the nights that you had to pick yourself up. I hope you've built a relationship with God, of course, and that's why you are healing. So consult with God. What is coming in your intuition? You know when you channel, you know when you align yourself, and you know when you're ascending. You have that special relationship with God, which 90% of the world don't know. So they'll call you a witch, a warlock. Oh my God, she's doing black magic on me. He's doing black magic on me. That's why I'm going through all this. It's karma, and you deserve what you deserve, irrespective of what your relationship was with us. What you sow, so shall you reap at the end of the day, and I do not have time for that. So if you're going to accept somebody back, just remember what they did, how they spoke on you, what they did, and did they f around with people you knew? And your relationship is personal with this man, with this woman. No one's here to speak on that. You make that decision for yourself. You accept who you want to accept back. But just know that feelings need to be reciprocated. Loyalty, integrity, everything needs to be reciprocated. People change. I was not always this way. I have ghosted people, but I've ghosted snakes. I've ghosted snakes who wanted to bury me. And these were lovers, friends, family. And I'll continue to ghost these snakes because these are poisonous people who will mix poison and make me drink it and watch me die happily. So fuck you, first of all. So you make sure that you're not inviting a snake back in your life as lover, friend, family. And if you want to hear them out, hear them out. If someone's saying, oh, don't meet them, don't talk to them, don't listen to them. Do what your heart wants to do. But at the end of the day, do not discard yourself. And for once, don't put yourself last. Because once in a lifetime, we meet a man, a woman, we happily put ourselves last, least, to a point where they start putting us last and least after their friends, their family, even strangers and colleagues and their side things at the end of the day. And that's a disrespect. It's the audacity for someone to treat a wifey or husband material like a WHORE and find these WHORES, these low-level people, and treat them like wifeys and husbands. Don't be with people who don't even understand what they have in their hands. And when they come back, you have no obligation to accept them back if they are going to play with your heart again. And you will know, because people who go through it really understand. They put you through it. They didn't go through it. You went through it, through their hands. So be very careful and put yourself first. Because if someone really feels bad, they'd confess the next day. In some way, shape, or form, if not tomorrow, if not the next day, they confess. They come around. They try to make things better with you. Genuinely, they repent. They tell you everything that they did against you, even if that kills you, even if that kills the relationship out of respect for you, for the time, the effort you put in. Good man, a good woman will come and tell you exactly what they did instead of putting their ego above, and that is fear included. Oh my God, she'll reject me. Oh my God, he'll reject me. How will he or she see me? I don't want to hurt them further by giving them the truth. These are narcissists who never want to accept because their pride is too big. And to a point, they don't think that you deserve the truth, but they still want the perks from you. So they pretend, oh, I didn't come around because I didn't want to hurt you. So just understand, don't be naive, don't be so gullible. This is not the man you fell in love with. This is not the woman you fell in love with, because she was never in love with you. Because they would have come back, like I said, before their life went to shit. Their life went to shit with their replacement that they chose. So just know what's their MO, what's the motive, why they're coming back now. The worst is when the ghoster does not ghost you yet, they will suck the last of your life from you until the time they make you feel like you are nothing. You feel like you are so undateable, you're so ugly inside and out. Till the time they don't break you to the T, they will not ghost you. And then boom, they ghost you. They leave you with traumas that you have to battle for however long it may be. Your family relationships may be ruined by this man because of this woman. Your friends' relationships may be ruined because of this man, because of this woman. And you go on with life with all the mistakes that you've done. And then when sense comes to your head, however long it takes for you to heal, you start to get angry, and now you are left with broken relationships, a broken self, and you have to start on your healing journey. And players and playettes, they can't commit, so they'll off real quick. I'm talking about people who are so emotionally distraught, who are so emotionally weak, who are so cowardice in nature that they're so afraid of lonely that they use people not for money, not for looks. Maybe they do, of course they do, but more so for emotions. They use people for their loyalty. They use people for what is innate, what makes you you, and they break you for that. And therefore, these people cause you traumas that takes you a long time to heal from, if you ever do. Don't be with people who don't even understand what they have in their hands. And when they come back, you have no obligation to accept them back if they are going to play with your heart again. And you will know, because people who go through it really understand. They put you through it. They didn't go through it. You went through it, through their hands. So be very careful and put yourself first. If someone really feels bad, they'd confess the next day. Perform, not make you wait for years, not go and start another family altogether, not go get somebody else pregnant or get pregnant by somebody else, not go and make 10,000 other friends and make you look small among other people and then come say sorry because something went down in their life. And now they suddenly understand what the fuck happened. Where was all this when they were bad-mouthing you? Where was all this when they were playing you? So make informed decisions for yourself. Because many times people will not even show up to even confess, to say sorry. And that's basic human nature to do that. So they're disgrace of a human being who can't even say sorry because they are fearful and they're weak. And that's why they can't confess. There's nothing wrong with you. So don't make weak people make you feel like you are less than. You dare it down.